There's a music marketing strategy that independent artists are not using, and that's what I want to cover on this episode coming up right after this intro. Join me in my mission to help put at least 50,000 music artists on the right track to be independently successful with their music, to turn the talent that they have with their voice into gold. My name is Billy Nellis, and welcome to the Golden Voice Podcast. Boom! So to jump right into it, I recently made a post which was a duet or a remix of a reel from another account that shares a lot about advertising and music marketing in general. And this is something that was so profound that I wanted to circle back on. And by the way, if you are not following me on Instagram, I invite you to follow me. All right. Let me know that you came from the Golden Voice Podcast at Big Shot Beats _ right? We also have an Instagram, the Golden Voice Podcast as well on Instagram, where you can follow me there as well. All right. So the post that I made was about a music marketing strategy that most independent artists are not using, and let's dive into it so that you can really understand. So this strategy is the most impactful. It may be the hardest, but if you think about the long run of it, it can be something very, very effective. All right. And it comes down to tying your music to a niche or a community of people that are already passionate about something. All right. So for example, I'm passionate about motorcycle stunt riding. All right. I ride motorcycles, a couple of them and everything. And there's already a community of people that are passionate about that. So if I was an independent artist, right, making music, and the music that I'm making ties to motorcycle stunt riding, right, it's inevitable that the people that are in that community, if I'm engaging with them either with my content, with my music, or my ads, if I'm at that point in my music career, right, the engagement is already going to be there because they're already passionate about motorcycle riding. All right. So if we talk about fitness, for example, all right, so you're into fitness and you may be making music that hypes up people when they are working out. Well, I'm pretty positive that there's a community of people that are already into fitness, right? So just imagine tying your music to that niche, tying your music to a community of people that likes fitness, and we are all human, right? This is why it's so important that we are using social media for our music business, right? If you're making music, you are a business owner. If you want to make a living out of your music, you're going to have to really understand the business part of it. And here's what's important: you have to be social on social media, and you have to be a part of the conversation. All right. Now, if you are engaging and if you're building relationship with people that are in a community, and back to the example that I was sharing right here, that are into fitness, right? So this is something that you also are really passionate about, other than the music, right? Because the content that you're going to be putting out there cannot all be about music, although it's going to be a priority, right? It's something that's going to have to be at least noticeable so that people can know that you are a musician, right? But there's other thing that as a human that you can be passionate about as well, other than the music. And that's going to start to attract your people because you're tying your music to that. All right. So just imagine you're into fitness, for example, and you are a part of a community online or social media with other people that like fitness, and you happen to make some music that can help them with a routine or a workout, something like that. Well, guess what? You're going to start to get some fans, and people are going to start to listen to your music because it ties to this niche, to that community, because people are already passionate about fitness. And then when you tie that, it becomes something that comes a long ways sideways with that passion. Something else that we can think about is anime. All right. So I don't know if some of y'all are fans of anime. I have a few friends that are into anime and stuff like that, but imagine that you have music that you're making that ties back to that niche, right? Or to the community of people that likes anime, right? It's going to be impactful. It's going to be effective. It's going to be a little bit harder, like I mentioned in the beginning, but if you really think about it, if you find other people that like anime, like you like anime, and you talk about that in your music, for example, well, it's going to become music that's going to be relatable, and people are going to like you for, this one thing that can build rapport. Rapport is something that, is something that you have in common with somebody else, and they're going to like you because of that, right? I think that as humans, if we find somebody else that likes what we like, I think it's something that attracts us to that person, or the other person gets attracted by that element, right? So I think we all had a conversation at one point in our lives, well, where we realized that somebody else liked that exact weird thing that we also like, and it just sparks the conversation, right? Well, it's the same thing. And now just don't forget, the music is the product, but people are also gonna have to like you as the person. You can't forget that part, right? You can't forget that point. And they're gonna like you for you, and then what's gonna follow after that is also gonna be your music. But don't forget that people are gonna like the person that you are, and that's gonna drag them into the music that you are making, so that they can become fans, and at some point a true fan, which is someone that is gonna buy anything and everything that you're gonna put out there when it comes to your music. So if there's something that you want to test out, okay, in your music marketing activities, is tying your music to a niche or a community of people that are already passionate about something just like you are. All right. And when you start to be a part of that conversation, then it's just going to make sense that, not only, you're going to be a likable person in that community, but then when people start to get to know you, then you can start to inject that you make music. And of course, if it's something that you like, you most likely going to talk about that in the music that you're making as well. That becomes relatable to the people. They're going to start to like you and the fact that you're talking about that in your music, and it's going to start to click, and you're going to start to attract your people that way, so that you can get your music heard by that community of people. All right. So hopefully that was valuable. And like I said in the beginning, if you are not following me on Instagram, this is where I also share some content and some knowledge that can help the independent music artist community. I'm a part of the conversation there, right? So make sure that you follow me there at Big Shot Beats _. And we also have an Instagram, like I said, for the podcast at the Golden Voice Podcast. And this is where we are at as well. So hopefully that was of value. Make sure that you share this podcast with somebody else. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you are tuning into to listen to the content of the Golden Voice Podcast. Don't forget to follow if you're on Spotify, subscribe if you're on Apple Music, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Wherever you are listening to, make sure that you tap in, subscribe, follow, so that you can also get notifications when new episodes are coming out, because we're going to be on a roll. There's going to be more coming, more guests that I'm going to bring through, so that we can help you turn the talent that you have with your voice, the music that you are making, into gold. All right, signing out, and I'll talk to you on the next one.